Hello, Flosstube. Remember me? Probably not. It's been about 6 months or more since my last video. My name is Jen. Welcome back to my channel, or congratulations on just finding me. I have been in a world of chaos this entire year, so it's really gotten put to the backside, but my stitching has picked back up finally. And so it's time for a new Flosstube. I started a new job in June, and that's where things kind of really fell off. But it's just been a lot of changes at home. Kids are getting older, their activities. Ethan's doing archery this year. He actually is in a tournament today out of town, which is part of the reason that I have the house to myself. Ellery is at skating lessons. So I figured it was the perfect time to drop in. I have a ton of finishes to show you. I have a stack of whips. I've got some haul. I had a ton of haul, but at a certain point, I couldn't just leave it in the corner and wait for filming a Flosstube anymore, and I had to put it away. So I did have a whole lot of new stuff that you're not going to see, but I still have a decent amount of haul because I went on a retreat, and I've ordered a couple of patterns, a couple of things from Stash Unloading, and some magazines that I picked up at Barnes & Noble. So I've got a little bit to show. But the biggest show and tell is going to be finishes. So I'll dive into that, and then I'll show you whips and my goodies and give you a little life update at the end. So if you don't want to stick around for that, you don't have to. I'm not really going to show these in any order. I actually did just finally press them, hence the iron sitting here. So I have that pressed, and they're all stacked up out of order. So I'm not going to go in any kind of order, but the first two are stitches that I worked on at retreat. It was the Michigan Stitchers Retreat. It was in Lansing, and it's right up the road from me, so it's really nice. I just come home for the night and sleep at home. But I worked on two little Lucy Heaton, the furry tails. I did the football for Ethan, roller disco for Ellery. She's really into roller skating. She's really good. She actually got to take an adult class this year. She's at that level, so I figured that was a perfect Christmas ornament for her for 2024. And the soccer is going to be Ethan's Christmas ornament from 2020. I found my little notebook of the ideas I had for their ornaments over the years, and it's time to actually catch up on them, because right now they only have ornaments from like ages birth to 4, so time to catch up on those. But here are my first two finishes. So this is Ellery's, and I put the year underneath, and I changed the sweater color. I changed the blue from blue to this like indigo purple color, because purple's her favorite color. And then I actually did Krynic for the white and the pink. So there's some bling in there, even though it's not showing up very well on this. And then Ethan's, the soccer ball, I did Krynic for the black, and I used a black with a little bit of like a royal blue Krynic. Ethan picked that out. So it's really cool. Adds a little bit of jazz to the feature, you know, for the sport that they are representing. So, and this is stitched on Bestitch Me Gray Magic, and it's a 32 count Joblin. I'm going to give you guys a little tip. Number one, this stuff is amazing to stitch on. The 32 count Joblin from Bestitch Me, so smooth. I love stitching on it. I'm going to tell you a little trick with Bestitch Me. If you get the 32 count Joblin, and I don't know if there's any other fabrics that this happens with, the way it's on the length of the fabric on the bolt is obviously bigger than the other fabrics. So when you do the fat quarter of the 32 count Joblin, it ends up being like 18 by 30 some inches. So you end up getting like an extra, can't remember if it's like 8 inches, but it ends up being a bigger cut. So when I had to take a break, but when I was doing her fabrics of the month, I did mine on 32 count Joblin because then I figured I had a fat quarter for some of my bigger pieces, but also that little bit extra, like perfect for ornaments, or if you have a piece that's longer and you don't want to order a fat half, you may be able to get it onto the 32 count Joblin from Bestitch Me. And I don't know if there's other dyers that also use the same Joblin, but if it's longer than it is wide, instead of a fat half, you might be able to just do a fat quarter with that 30 some inches. If I had another piece right here, I would measure it for you, but I don't. So that's my first two. Now I gotta figure out where I'm putting these so they don't get wrinkled. Let me move a couple things. Sorry about that. Okay. My next piece, I did finish this at retreat as well, and this was a Bent Creek zipper kit. It's the Pop of Halloween. I don't think I have every single Pop of kit, but I have quite a few. I have the 4 seasons. I have summer, autumn, winter, spring. I had the Halloween. I have Christmas. I have Easter, and I will show it in my haul. I just got the Thanksgiving one, but I think there might be 1 or 2 that I don't have. I'm not sure. But I finally pulled this out, started working on that, and it's adorable. And I love these because you stitch them with the pearl cotton, so they go quick, they're easy to see, so I could work on it when I didn't have, great lighting. So yeah, that turned out cute. And this fabric in this Pop of kit, and I don't know if all the other kits too, it's a 20 count linen. It was softer than the stuff they used to have in their kits, and I thought that was really nice. So eventually I will stretch that and get a frame that I can, switch out all of the Pop of kits, and I can, decorate with that. My next piece is Frog Cottage Designs, Let's Get Spooky. And this is one that I kitted quite a while ago, and this actually might have been one that I kitted on one of my videos a long time ago. I did one video where I set up my camera to be over my bed, and I pulled fabric and floss for a few patterns, and I'm pretty sure this was one of them. So I've got this all stitched up, and I stitched it on a scrap of fabric that I believe I actually dyed. So this is Let's Get Spooky. I thought it turned out very cute. And I changed her skirt from purple to orange because I was stitching it in purple, so I didn't want it to get lost. And then the way the variegation lined up on that orange, I thought it was really cool. It gave it an ombre effect for her skirt. So that was cute. I also finished this Satsuma Owl, and I've shown this before as a whip. I started this 4th of July of 2023, and I finally finished it. And he turned out adorable. So I've got him all finished. Got all that sparkle. Oh, I love it. The only thing I wish is that I saw a post on Facebook, and it was about finishing Mill Hills. And sorry, my allergies are going nuts today. My nose itches. It was a post about finishing Mill Hills, and it was somebody that took scrapbook paper and used double-sided adhesive, and they attached the decorative paper so the decorative side is out before they cut out the design. And then, so then the back is covered by pretty scrapbook paper, and then they cut out, and it cuts the scrapbook paper at the same time, so you have a perfect coverage. And I thought that was a really slick trick, and I'm definitely going to try it. I just didn't know that trick before I finished this. So I'll probably put some felt on this and trim it, around, but you'll see some of the felt on the outside. That's my plan, I think. Next is, where are my... Well, I don't know where the patterns are. I might have gotten rid of the patterns already. Oh wait, no, they're in here. I finished November quite a while ago, so you've probably already seen that one. But since I had November stitched and December is in the same pattern and I'm trying to get rid of stuff, I wanted to finish December. I stitched it on the same fabric. So Hinzite, loved November, loved December. And I stitched it on a linen this is from Hand Dyed by Rolanda. It's a 28 linen and the color is Lark. And this is how it turned out. So there's December, there's November that I had finished a while ago. So I've got these finished, and I will probably finish these as just a little pillow for displaying in, you know, a bowl or on a tier tray. I also finished, excuse me, stuff's getting messy. Owls in the Round. And this was one that I kitted up on that video I did with pulling fabric and floss too. So this is JBW Designs, Owls in the Round, and it's stitched on, I'm fairly certain this is an ornament cut from Hand Dyed by Rolanda. Hand Dyed by Rolanda on Etsy. And I used a Night Stalker's Calling floss in the color Maize, and I had a little bit left over. But I just love that for autumn. Here's a more accurate picture of the colors. I just love it. So I'll have to figure out how I'm going to finish that. That's the trick now with all of these finishes. I have to figure out what I'm doing with them. But at least for now, they're stitched, they're pressed, and I can put them in the bin under my bed, and they're safe and protected, and someday I'll finish them all. This next one is this is one I had kitted for a long time. This is Peacock Party Berry, Erica Michaels. I love the berries, and I have most of her berry patterns. I just only have one completely finished. So I also have the Nativity Berry already stitched, but it's not finished, not fully finished. This is stitched on 32 count lamb's wool Lugana. And it was just a scrap that I had. And I used the called for floss. And I just love it. It's so bright and vibrant and fun. So I can't wait to hand this to my mom and say, please finish it into a berry. This is a long piece. So I stitched this on a piece of 28 count linen from Volcano Stitching. She's on Facebook, Volcano Stitching. She has a group, and it's a really pretty fabric. And what I did is I took 5 of Darling and Whimsy's Quirky Quakers, and I did a long Halloween bell pull style piece. And I love how it turned out. So I played around with the order based on their sizes because they're all a little bit different size. I made sure the ones that were primarily white were separated. And I'm very happy with how that turned out. So there's my jack-o'-lantern, skeleton, cauldron, little ghost, and the witch hat. And I love the brooms around it. And I stitched these with, the black is all DMC, the white is DMC, but the orange, gray, green, and purple, and straw color, those were all Night Stalker's Calling flosses. So I'm going to have to, I might actually recruit my mom to help me finish that. I'm capable, but she has her machine set up all the time. I don't have my sewing machine out all the time. And I think what I'm going to do is add fabric borders and make it into a wall hanging that way. The next piece I have, this was these are Hand Blessings patterns. And what I did is I actually put 3 patterns together. I don't even have the first pattern, but these are two of the patterns. It's Witch's Night Out Cat Quilt and Halloween Haunted Tree Quilt. And then I don't know what the third pattern was because I got rid of it a long time ago. But I used 3 different silk flosses from my stash. And I know one of them was a hand dyed by Rolanda. One of them was a Belsois. And I honestly don't know what the third one was. And I stitched them on 28 count linen in the color Storm from Fabrics by Stephanie. And there we go. This was another one where one of the patterns was 1 stitch or 2 stitches bigger. So I centered that one and put everything else around it. And I think it turned out really, really cute. So I used a green, an orange, and a purpley brown. It turned out great. So I'm going to try to find a frame for this one. If I can't find a frame, you know, maybe I can find some kind of sign at Hobby Lobby that I can, you know, is a good size, and I can just cover up the frame, you know, whatever saying is already on it. Nope, not my last finish. Second to last finish. This is a Seekis & Company pattern, and I do not have the pattern in this mess anywhere, so I must have already gotten rid of it, or it's in my stash of stuff to post for sale, but this is, I think it was just called Hyacinths. And I used the called for floss, and I found this 10 count Tula in my stash, and it was a hand dyed. And I think that's just beautiful for spring. So I have a couple of, I don't know if you'll be, oh yeah, you can see it in the background. This is the flamingo heart. It's already in a white frame. What I'll probably do is stretch this piece, mount it, and switch it into this frame for spring, and then, you know, like June, maybe I'll pull out the hyacinths and put the flamingos back into the frame. I like to do that with a lot of my pieces that I don't have glass on. That way they're rotated, they don't get too dusty, they're tucked away safely when they're not in use, and I don't have to buy a bajillion frames. It works very well. So that's another helpful hint, especially if you're doing a lot of patterns that are series that are similar, like the Papa of Halloween. That is going to be roughly the same size as every other Papa of tree that Bank Creek does. The Seekis hearts, same thing. They're all like, if not the exact same stitch count, very, very similar. So I just pop them in and out of the same frame. There's some Bent Creek kits that I have, like let's see, there's a Pumpkin of Pumpkins. There's a Heart of Hearts, and I also have a Flag of Stars stitched. Again, those all end up being the same, roughly the same finished size to where I can put them in one frame. And when I'm changing out my decorations every season, which I have not done this year because of life, I can just switch out, you know, the same frame. And then I also don't have to worry about finishing the back super nice. It stands up on a table. You can't see the back. I just switch them out. So that is, oh no, one more finish. This was a freebie from Doreen Jones. It's a Sunflower Biscornu. It is only, well, it doesn't even have to be a Biscornu. I shouldn't say it's a Biscornu. I think she's designed it to be a Biscornu because it does have the back stitching line for stitching it together. But she only designs the top, and then you're kind of at your own discretion for what you want to do at the bottom. This is on her Facebook group, and it might be from 2023 because I just print them out, the weekly ones. I just print them out and shove them in a binder when they're things that I want, and then I go back to them. So I pulled this one out and started it at retreat, and I finished it the other night, and I love it. So I stitched the top exactly as the pattern called, and I actually did give it 2 additional stitches before I did the back stitching. The pattern calls for 1 space between the back stitch line and the stitching line. I always give a couple extra so that you're not stitching like that close to this design. And on the bottom, all I did was the 4 corner sunflowers. And I finished with, excuse me, sorry, Finished with a brown sparkly bead on both sides. So I love how that turned out. And that was stitched on Mystery Stash Even Weave. I don't know. Don't know what it is. Don't know where it came from. But it was really pretty. Whips. My most recent whip. I was hoping to have this done to show as a finish for this video, but I didn't make it to that. This is another project that I've had kitted up for a long time. And it's this adorable little angel. No clue what magazine it's from, because it's just a page. It's from Cross Stitch Collection. Does not have an issue number in the bottom of the page at all, so good luck. But it's this cute little angel, and you don't stitch her dress, it's just back stitched. And the same with the wings. There's very little cross stitches on here, which I thought was really nice. So a long time ago, I found fabric at Stitches and Things in Fenton, and it's a 32 count even weave, and it's white with silver sparklies. I don't know if you're gonna, yeah, totally can't see it with the light, but I started this when I went to, oh, you can kind of see it a little bit. I met up with my cousin on Thursday to cross stitch and have dinner at Panera, and I finished the Biscornu stitching and got it most of the way put together, but didn't have stuffing with me. So then after I was done with that, I started this angel, and I started some of the wing stitching before we were done for the night. This morning I got the little bird, I got the berries in there, I got all of the back stitching in her hair and the wings done. So now all I have left is some back stitching for the rest of her dress, and that's it. So this will be done today, and this is just going to be an ornament for myself. I love it. And I really hope these silver sparkles do not like come off of the fabric, because they are not embedded like an opalescent fabric. It's more of a surface thing, so we'll see. I also started this project this summer. Not get very far. Roxy, no. Hey, come here. Shh. You're fine. This was a crochet kit that I picked up, and it was like a $10 kit. It had everything in it, including the little glasses. It's so freaking cute. Pumpkin Fox. So I started that. It was actually like Labor Day, I guess. I have like the bulk of the pumpkin done. What happened is I have part of that done. I started this when we went to a family get-together. I got the stem done. I got one of these done, one leaf. And I got to this family get-together and realized I didn't have scissors. So I just did one of everything I could do in the colors in the kit. And now I have to, like, you know, cut them off, weave them in, do the rest of the pieces, and assemble it. But I haven't gotten there yet, clearly. I will eventually. One moment, please. Sorry about that. I'm telling you, these allergies can go kick rocks. This is a big project that I started this summer too. And I actually didn't do too bad with starting this and getting a decent amount of progress on it. But I clearly have not picked it up in a long time. This is the Lola Crow Deadly Aquarium Stitch Along. And I was plugging along pretty good for quite a while. I love the pattern. I love the finished piece. I have a lot to go. Lola Crow stitch-alongs end up being very, very full, heavy pieces. And they're amazing. I just can't keep up with them. But this is decent start for me on a big project. So I'm pretty proud of that. This is being stitched on a piece of fabric from think it's Dying for Cross Stitch. And it is an even weave. I picked up this project a while back and got a little bit of progress. This is Jan Hicks Creates, her hydrangeas. Originally I was like, oh, I'm only going to stitch this one. And then every time she released another one in that series, it's like, damn it, I need to stitch that too. So I do have all 4. I am not stitching them together. She does show that option, but I'm going to be stitching them individually because I didn't plan on stitching all of them, so I don't have a big enough piece of fabric, and I really want to match fabric to the colors, you know, what's going to look best for the piece, or with the floss. So, like, she uses the Cottage Garden sampling threads and other overdyes, and I am stitching it on a 32 count linen by, I think it's a Picture This Plus in the color Pewter. And I gotta pull this off so you can actually see how much I have done. Probably shouldn't leave that on there anyway, but so I worked on filling in this hydrangea and started some of the leaves. And I really like this one. It's really pretty. The only thing that I would maybe do different if I were to stitch it again, which I never stitched the same thing twice, so I'm not going to stitch it again. But the only thing I might do different is, rather than stitching, you know, I'm doing full crosses, but even rather than going full crosses back and forth, I would maybe, like, I'm trying to treat each petal individually, so I'm not growing across a whole row. I'm doing a petal at a time. The only thing I might consider doing differently is going, like, up and down instead of back and forth, or, like, scattered even. That'd be nice. So depending on the other patterns and the other flosses, the floss die design, I may try doing that with some of the other ones. We'll see. Excuse me. I also had a start on this bookmark kit that I bought. Love it. Love the colors. I hate this project, and I think it's the fabric and the needle I was trying to use, to be honest, because it wasn't stitching nice, and it was brutal to get through just this amount. I'm not finding enough joy in this. I might try a different needle, and if I'm not happy with it, the whole kit's going on stash unload. It's a 16 count Ada, so it's not too small. I don't know what the problem is. I'll give it one more attempt. If I'm not happy stitching it, I'll get rid of it. I don't have time to just hold on to everything. The other pattern that I have, a project that I worked on this summer, it was a Tiny Modernist stitch along. I don't know if I have a picture of the fully finished. I don't think I do. I don't have a picture printed out of the finished design, but it was the Forest Friends. And I started this one again when I was getting together with my cousin for some stitching time. And I don't have much done on this, but it's really cute. And I'm stitching it on it's a very subtle sage green color. I don't know. I feel like the white gets a little bit lost, but I really didn't want to go dark with the fabric on this, so I'll see how it goes. Maybe that will end up in the abandoned pile. I don't know. So that is everything for finishes and whips. I had a decent amount there, I think. All right. Haul. Again. Actually, let's do stitching plans first. Nope, we're not. We're going to do haul. Again, I tucked away most of my haul, so I don't have a ton to show, but I've got some decent stuff. I just got a Night Stalker's Calling order. It was for the floss of the month for, I think it was the floss of the month for November. And I don't remember what the theme was, but it was, the names of these colors are September, October, November. So it must have just been fall, but they're beautiful. Really happy with those. I also picked this up in Stash and Load. It's a kit. Well, I haven't even looked at it. It was a kit at some point. I'm wondering if this is just leftovers. It's a shepherd's bush. Yeah, it's just the pattern and leftovers, but it's Road to Bethlehem. I am considering switching out the colors for something a little brighter. This is the colors I called for. With my stash, I have plenty. I think I might switch it out for brighter colors. Now I'm never going to get it back in this bag, am I? That's how it goes. All right. I also picked up this Imaginating pattern. Tricky Treat Cats. So cute. And then, the only downside to this is that you don't stitch this cat, obviously, because it's white. So I either need to stitch this on white, or I'm going to be filling that all in. It would look cool on a hand-dyed fabric, but I don't have it in me to stitch that much extra. I picked up these two things from somebody that was selling them on one of the Stash and Load sites, but they're new items, and they're both, I think, yeah, they're both from Wonderland Crafts. And the first thing is a frame. This is supposed to be the size for the big Mill Hill kits. I think this might be too big. I'm kind of sad because I don't want to spend the money on the next size down, but I think this biggest opening one is too big. I'm going to have to pull out a kit and see. And then I also got this kit. Isn't that adorable? And it's the wood pieces. I'm notorious for sucking at stitching on the wood because I tend to pull too tight on the wood, so then it's hard to get the needle tucked under, but I just thought that was so stinking cute with the pumpkins and the little cat with the witch outfit, so someday. I also ordered these patterns when they first came out. I got Plum Street Samplings Jump Clump. You know, we have a jumping spider now, so I had to get that. Ellery, of course, wants me to stitch it immediately. And here is the popcorn of blessings. It's got the turkey and all the Indian corn, the different colors, and the apple. So I'm probably going to change this fence and make it a solid color, but I don't know what color. Picked up this new Bent Creek chart, just a cute little quick stitch. And the Heart and Hand Christmas etchings. I really love that. I will probably pull from my overdyed floss stash. I'm not necessarily going to order the colors it calls for, but I'm going to find, I'm going to closely match these colors because I really do like the colors. I also picked up some magazines at Barnes & Noble. The August issue of Cross Stitcher magazine had these, the freebie was this booklet of Biscornu patterns, and I love this one. And then the butterflies, so I'll stitch those. Then there was September of Cross Stitcher, and I love the little bunnies. World of Cross Stitching. This is the December of 24 issue. Here's some of the patterns that are in there. They had this nativity collection of little small patterns, so that was why, the main reason for getting this one. And then, and I don't know, I think the freebie for that was, there were 3 little freebies. There's a mini greeting card, a bookmark, and something else. Oh, gift tags. And then this was the November issue of the World of Cross Stitching. And I love these cards. So I bought it for the birds. And there was a little freebie, that freebie, and a 2025 calendar from Stitch Rovia. I picked up this snowflake at Dollar Tree. Obviously, at some point, I'll find the perfect pattern for the center. I will paint it white, maybe get like a silver paint pen and like do some little details in the ends, and then put a finished piece there. So, and then I picked up a couple of frames at Michael's the other day. Barbie, Pedal Pusher, had posted a new pattern, and it was cardinals and pine trees. And she finished it in this little frame from Michael's. It's like a shadow box, actually. And they actually had them buy one, get one free. So I got the green that matched her pattern. So I have that for when I get the pattern. And then I also got like a weathered gray frame, and I can use that for other little pieces. And then I will be right back. Believe it or not, I took my damn allergy pill this morning too. We have so much dust kicked up in the house, though, between obviously turning the furnace on, but also major remodeling in the house. Both bathrooms have been in progress. The hall bathroom didn't have as much remodeling, but the master bathroom has been completely torn apart and everything ripped out and put back in. So, very dusty. I also went through my patterns and pulled out a few things. Oh, I missed the retreat haul. I knew I had more. So I participated in a kit exchange, and we were supposed to bring a bag with, the bag was supposed to kind of show what the theme inside was. So I was like, oh, Christmas, I like Christmas. And I got, and mine actually came from Tiffany, who organized the retreat. And I got Country Garden Needlework, or Country Cottage Needlework, Snowy Deer and Snowy Reindeer, and it had, both of them have the buttons. And she put 2 little cuts of fabric in there, and all of the floss. And she included this little needle book too, floss catcher, and you can put your needle in there, and I thought that was so sweet. And there's a floss drop in here somewhere too. Yeah, a winter floss drop too. So that was super nice. And then I this was my door prize. The door prize was done. We all got a number when we checked in, and she drew bingo balls for finding like the order of door prizes. So that was kind of cool. My door prize, by the time I got called, a lot of the stuff that I liked had my eye on was picked, but I still got this amazing bundle of Night Stalker's Calling Floss, because I'll always use this. Always. Most of these colors I think I already have, but I did not have Naughty Unicorn. I really want to find a pattern to use that for. I don't think I had Troll Snot either. I could be wrong. This is a really good one for Halloween patterns too. It's not the one I used for the cauldron that I stitched, but it's similar. I don't think I have this one either, Double Rainbow. And then, man, there's just Evergreen, Belly of the Beast, Daydreams. I mean, there's such amazing, I can't say enough good things about Night Stalkers. Jelly Shoes, Boundary Waters, Evil Queen, Rotten Pumpkin, and then Childlike Empress, Sea Glass, Karma, and Pumpkin Hunting. So that's a really good selection of colors from Night Stalkers. So that was cool. I need to... The worst part about filming Flosstube is putting everything away afterwards. I also bought some fabric from Hand Dyed by Stephanie, or Fabrics by Stephanie. I picked up what the hell was I thinking? I bought a 40 count fabric. I don't think I paid attention. I grabbed a 40 count linen in Seaside. It's a really nice cut. So I guess I need to put the readers on and stitch something on 40 count. 32 count linen in Nemu. Another really nice cut. 32 count linen in Briar Rose. 32 count Lugana. I love that. And this is just a fat eighth, so that'll be good for ornaments. And 28 count Lugana, another fat eighth. Nice bright red. Let's see, what else do I have in here? So this was somebody at the table next to us had 3D printed a bunch of these trays and was just giving them away. It is for Krynic spools. I thought that was pretty awesome. So I grabbed one of those. We had all kinds of goodies. I'm not going to show everything, but let me pull out. We got a zipper pouch, and the fabric is Michigan, and it's got a sparkly zipper, and then inside of mine is gray, but Tiffany and her mom made all of these. Super awesome. She did little make and take projects while we were there. So somewhere in here I have a zipper pull. I don't know where. She included Michigan quarters. She has all kinds of cool things in here for Michigan. Here was one of our little make and take projects. It was a magnet, and it was like bottle caps. And the one that I found was Pirate Booty Ginger Ale. We got Petoskey stones. She's got a little Ort jar in here if we want. You know, it says Stitch, Michigan, Lansing 2024. Love it. What's this? Oh, this was our badge, name badge. So yeah. But we also got a couple of exclusive patterns. We got a Tidy Modernist Michigan pattern. And we actually got to do a Zoom session with Cheryl, right? Yeah. We got to do a Zoom question and answer thing that was pretty cool. These were just some freebies that were included in our bags. The other, this was a freebie too, Miss Deer. So here's another exclusive. This is Calla the Forest Pixie. Good grief, Bella Filipina. And then the other, this is my favorite. This is my all-time favorite. Karen, Meridian Designs, always does a exclusive for our retreat too. And she did the Mighty Mac this year. And it's amazing. There's beads, hit myself in the face. There's beads for all of the lights on the bridge. The fabric is an existing fabric from Leslie at Under the Sea Fabrics. The color is called Midnight Mermaid, but this will get eventually. This will get released. You do have to order the fabric and ask for it to be dyed landscape, because normally it's done portrait. But I'm so excited for this because the fabric, it looks like the Northern Lights, you guys. It's so cool. So I am going to be kitting this up and stitching it very soon. This is going to hang at the house. We took the kids a few years ago to Mackinac, and went across the bridge. So I'm excited to get that stitched up. So I actually need to take this pattern, a couple of patterns, to Michael's and get some floss today. But I also got this from Karen. Winter Romance. This is one of her smaller stitches. I love it. So I'm gonna get the floss for that too, since I seem to be on a smalls kick lately. So that's everything from the treat. Now, in terms of plans, like I mentioned, Mighty Mac is getting stitched soon. That'll be the next bigger thing I start. And even though it's bigger, it'll be less than a week to get that done, I think. I did go through some of my patterns, pulled out a few things to kit. I pulled out Saltbox Fairy Village. Look at those colors. How happy. Perfect for spring. So I got the floss. I need to pull some fabric out. I'm going to get that stitched up. This is a pattern that I picked up fairly recently from Sprouting Lupine. This is Graveyard Guardian. I think this was a Galleria-ish time. Or, no. It's not it's not Nashville because that's in March, but it's the other one. Market in the fall, whatever that one is. So I picked this up. I think that's super cool. So I picked up all the floss. Again, I just need to go through my stash, find some fabric for it. I also bought all of the floss for 2 lavender and lace freebies. This one is the 1998 Christmas Angel. And here's the floss for it. It's going to be really pretty. And then this one is the Christmas 1994. And all of the floss. So I need to pull out some scrap fabric for those. But I'm probably going to start this one for this year. And I'm showing the chart because they were freebies. You'll have to track one down, but, yep. So that is it. In terms of life updates, like I said, new job, I'm adjusting. There's still a lot of craziness there, but, I have been able to find that work-life balance where I'm not working too much. So that's been good. The kids are doing well. They're both doing very well in school. We got good reports this last week from their teachers. Ethan started archery this fall. He started basketball is for the winter. We don't games haven't started yet, but he's been doing practices. Ellery is still doing roller skating. That's all she really shows an interest in right now, but who knows. I have just been working. I've been doing a lot of reading too. Clearly a bunch of cross stitching. I've been dealing with a lot of health stuff, nothing serious, but the part of the reason I was away for so long too is that I have spent most of the year trying to figure out my knee pain. It's osteoarthritis. I've had an MRI. I've tried the Supartz gel injections. I've done multiple rounds of physical therapy. I've lost more weight. I am still losing weight. Nothing is helping. The pain just keeps getting worse. So that's super cool. I have seen a pain doctor. They want to try nerve blocks and then do a nerve ablation in my knee, but my insurance won't cover it. So this weekend I get to call insurance and find out what I need to do to try to get a medical exception, because at this point it sounds like it's probably my only option. I do have an appointment in 2 weeks to see another orthopedic surgeon for another opinion, but I'm pretty much, from what it sounds like, just SOL. So it's not just the arthritis pain, I also have nerve pain. And it's been a challenge. But I did get a cortisone shot yesterday to help me get through these next couple months, and that seems to have been pretty effective. I still have the nerve pain, but today I am walking without limping, and it's been great. So I'm glad that I at least have the cortisone shot, and I'm hoping it holds me through the winter for the arthritis pain. So we'll see. Other than that, we're redoing the bathrooms. Master bathroom needed a complete overhaul. We ripped out the tub and the shower. We had a tiny shower stall in there. My husband refused to even use it. I didn't even like it. It's very small. So we ripped that out. That's going to be a huge linen closet. We're going to keep it the same depth of the shower. So the contractor I'm using is going to put the bottom two shelves on rollers, so you can actually roll the shelf out to get to everything in the back. He's going to run electric up through the wall from the basement and put a light in the closet. We ripped out the tub, and he bumped out a few inches from the standard tub depth, and we are doing a tiled walk-in shower, because another thing I've noticed with my knee too is that I am having a hard time lifting my leg up to even step into a bathtub. So the walk-in shower will be nice. He's got a bench in there for, shaving, whatever. He's got cubby niche thing in the wall for shampoo. He's got a shelf, so there's 2 shelves technically for bottles. It's going to have a nice rain head and a regular head on the wall. So I'm super excited. Fresh paint, in both bathrooms, obviously. New floors in both bathrooms, which is how it started, because the linoleum was peeling away from the tub in the hall bathroom, and I didn't want moisture getting under there and damaging the subfloor. Plus, it was the stuff from when we moved in, and it had curling and burn marks on the floor. So, the floors really needed to be done. And then our toilets have acted up over the last couple of years. We've had to replace handles multiple times. And my husband was like, forget it. Let's just get new toilets in both bathrooms. I said, great, no problem. New light fixtures, new hardware. We're keeping the cabinets themselves because they're in very good condition still. But now we are probably going to have to replace the tops in both bathrooms. They are very yellowed with age. And in the master bathroom, it's an ombre effect because one side of the sink gets direct sunlight through the window and the other side does not. So it's more white on one end and then gradually yellows, and there's 2 yellow stains on the very center where I had some, toiletry drawers sitting that I don't plan on putting back there because I'll have room in the linen closet. So this weekend I'm going to try he talked to somebody that does counters, and they suggested either lacquer thinner to try to see if it's a surface stain, or Scotch-Brite, a certain Scotch-Brite pad, and basically it's a very fine grit sanding. Take off the finish and see if that removes the staining. So at this point, I'm either replacing them or fixing them, so I don't care if the fixing doesn't work because they'll get replaced. So that's another project for this weekend, is see what the countertops are going to do and probably replace those. So it's been interesting, but the contractor I'm using is amazing. He does everything, so it's been really stress-free for me. I did not have to line up one guy to do tile, one guy to do floors, one guy to, do all the electric stuff, and all the, everything is all just done at once. And so it's been great. It'll be, I doubt that it's getting done by the end of next week, since next week is Thanksgiving. And then after the bathrooms are done, he'll be coming out here to the kitchen. We have a lot of grout that is breaking. So he's going to chip out the bad parts of the grout, color match it, and put a rubber grout in that is designed for moving floors. So these tiles that are loose and moving will not crack the grout anymore. So that's really nice. So we'll see how that project goes too, because if he starts trying to chip away at it and ends up being more grout, if it ends up to the point where almost all of the grout in that entire floor is going to have to be removed, I'm probably going to call it and say, never mind, come back in the spring or summer and we're just going to replace the floor, because the cost for just replacing all of the grout was about the same cost as completely removing all of the tile. And I'm not a huge fan of the color. The tile work is amazing. It's not what I would choose, and I would certainly choose something lower maintenance now. I don't want to clean grout. Who the hell wants to clean grout? I got some grout cleaner, and I didn't even know that my grout was this light, because even when we moved in, it was not this light. So, I don't know. That's still up in the air. We'll figure it out later. But so yeah, we've been doing some home improvement, some organizing, some destashing. You'll probably see a lot more stuff showing up on destash soon. Both kids are getting braces. Ethan already has some of his. He has to have oral surgery to remove a tooth and expose a tooth that's growing sideways. So 2 kids in braces. That's awesome too. It's a lot. I am learning that, with kids, one phase gets changed for the next. So there are times that I'm like, I am so thankful my kids are out of that phase. And it's like, oh, but they're in this phase. And I'm tired of this phase too. So, but they're 9 and 11 now. And Ethan is my little mini me. He looks a lot like me. Ellery looks a lot like my mother-in-law, Brian's side of the family. So we'll see. We got some family pictures done this fall. They turned out amazing. Kids' school pictures turned out pretty good. We got to order those so we can hand those out to family at Christmas. I can't believe we are at the end of November already. I don't know where it went. Like, Christmas is soon. The rest of my plan for today is to put all this away. Then I have to go to Aldi and get my supplies for Chex Mix, because it's Chex Mix season. So I hope everybody is doing well and gearing up for the holidays. Stress-free, hopefully. And I will try... oh, excuse me. I will try to be back a lot sooner for another update. And hopefully, I doubt I'll have that many finishes, but hopefully I'll have some more finishes to share and some new whips to share. And actually maybe even some crochet stuff, because I want to pull out the sweater that I started crocheting last January, or this January, I guess. It's almost a full year since I started that, and all I have left is like 1 3/4 of sleeves, like 1 full sleeve and 3/4 of the other one. So I'd like to get that done and actually wear it this winter. So I will check back in again soon. And look at that. I even managed to keep it under an hour with how long it's been, only because I didn't show you 7 months worth of haul. So have a good one, guys. Bye.